The RuneScape economy is fascinating. Hundreds of millions of items are traded back and forth on the Grand Exchange daily. And as with any market, if you can understand it correctly, you can make a lot of profit. In this video, I'm going to break down the market cycles that exist in OSRS and give you a better understanding of how the RuneScape economy works over the long term. This will be a theory-based video, but I guarantee it will help you make better economic decisions in-game when purchasing gear or even making item investments. Drop a like if you enjoy, and let's get into it. Let's start off with the basic economic states that the OSRS economy can be in at any given time. Just like the real-world economy, there are three separate states the OSRS economy can be in. The market can be growing, where in general, item prices are increasing, but the market can also be in a state of shrinking, where item prices are decreasing. There is also a third state where the market is flat, where prices do fluctuate, but it's typically a very small amount, and items don't make very much progress in this time frame. It's important to note that different item categories can be in different market states at the exact same time. For example, you may see high-level PVM gear increasing in price at the same exact time that prices for consumables are decreasing. A lot of players overlook the economy in general, so I want to show you why these market cycles are so important. If you can learn how to time each cycle, or at least figure out the basic indicators of where one cycle ends and another cycle starts, you can make so much money it is unbelievable. Let's talk about the growth cycle first. The growth cycle can be defined by an overall price increase in the economy over a set period of time. If more items are increasing in price across the entire economy, we can consider this a growth phase. Typically in Oldschool Runescape, a growth phase will start around the announcement of an update. For example, the 2023 Winter Summit announced a huge update pipeline. When this livestream happened, the very first investors started to speculate on what items would be used in these future updates. And a lot of PVM related gear jumped a couple of million GP over the following week and settled down at these higher prices. When these growth rotations happen, typically items will shoot up pretty quickly in price and then stabilize over the following weeks to months, which do allow you to get in during these times. Now, more recently, with the blog on the Desert Treasure 2 update, more progress on the update was announced and further speculation began to fuel the market again. More people started buying in as an investment, and more people started to learn more about which items would be good for the update. Typically, anytime an item is getting pulled or they're making a change to an already existing item, that item will get a lot of hype and typically will go up a lot in price unless the direct effect is a negative outcome, for example, a nerf on a specific item. Surprisingly enough, even if the update to the item seems pretty neutral, it still will go up a lot in price just due to people investing and speculating for dumb reasons. As these major updates get closer to launch though, it can be revealed that a new use for an item comes out and prices will really start to take off. I think Raids 3 is a really great example of this phenomenon. When Jagex first announced Raids 3, that is when the growth cycle started and the item prices began to rise, although it was extremely slow at first. As time went on and blog posts came out regarding the boss mechanics and the rewards, players started to speculate more and more, make more accurate investments, especially around the time that the polls entered the game. Of course, the week leading up to the update is when we saw prices pretty much at their all-time highs, and we really didn't see too much price action after that, except on very specific items. Just as a note, this is in general. Obviously, every update is different, and there may be an item that was overlooked originally and will go up in price after the update. A great example of this is the Grazi Rapier. In the Raids 3 update, the Grazi, on release, was found out to be a pretty good starting option for Raids 3, considering not a lot of the Osmutan's fangs were in the game yet. This caused extreme upward movement on the price of the Grazi, and we saw Grazis get up to like 125 mil. Now, let's talk about the less exciting cycle of decline. Most items will go into a declining phase pretty much the day after a major update hits. A lot of people think that this is actually the opposite, but it's not the case. because so much hype is built up around the update actually landing and in the growth cycle that the day that the update lands, there are these massive sell-offs of huge quantities of items. All these investors and speculators offload their investments on the update day because they think this is the best time to sell them, and items just plummet extremely in price. Let me show you a really good example of this. On screen right now is the Kodai wand. As you can see, in March 2020 all the way through the summer of 2020, the price of the Kodai wand slowly rose over time. When it was time for the update to actually launch in late August, the price of the Kodai wand plummeted to extreme levels. We even saw prices of 68 mil on the Kodai wand, which is extremely low. Now, you might be thinking that this extreme drop was caused by the Tamekin's shadow, and that definitely does play a role here, but keep in mind that the Tamekin's shadow was known to be coming into the game for a long time before the update. You can even see now that the Kodai wand hasn't even really started to recover in price yet. It is starting to get a little bit of speculation, I believe, because of the Desert Treasure 2 questline and all those updates that are coming in 2023, but right now it's still pretty low in price. Cycles of decline usually last until the first sizable blog post of a major update is released. Recessionary cycles in OSRS are very hard to time because prices can start to bottom out and then stagnate for a period of time and then continue to decrease. With growth cycles, it's a little bit simpler because you typically know when that update is going to land, so until that update lands, you can think of the economy as in a growth cycle. But with the declining phases, it's not as easy because you don't know when the next update is going to get announced. That being said, with Jagex already giving us the 2023 roadmap at the Winter Summit, the timing has definitely gotten a lot easier this year and has made investing a lot simpler. Anyway, decline cycles are typically a lot shorter than growth cycles, which is really great, but they're often way more severe and extreme because they happen so quickly and there's nothing to stop them. Definitely keep that in mind when you are thinking about making investments. Now, of course, this is all theory and observations, but I have been doing this style of update investing since about 2020 with some fairly good success. Hitting the perfect timing is extremely hard to do, and you'll almost never time it completely perfectly, but if you do know where you are going in the overall economic cycle, then you can invest with some level of certainty that you're getting into your investment at a good time, or even selling an investment exactly at the perfect time. So how can we take advantage of this as players? My personal favorite way is to wait until the first blog post of an update comes out. In general, any major update will shift the economy upwards, but of course, some items will go up more than others. Definitely read the post, chat with your friends, and think why a certain item may go up in price. Oh, and also, we can define a major update as an update that will have a long-lasting economic effect on the economy. Raids are obviously major updates and a clear example, but updates like Desert Treasure 2 or a new boss update are all considered major updates. Key to maximizing this strategy and invest at the perfect time of the economic cycle is to identify where the economy is by analyzing a ton of different items across the economy. Look at PVM gear, PvP gear, consumables, herbs, logs, fashionscape, etc. See how prices are trending right now, and then take into consideration any recent or future blog posts. You also might want to keep in mind how many blog posts on an update have already been released, and if none have come out yet, you probably want to wait for that first one just to get things started. Read the blog posts, identify the items you want to make an investment in, but don't invest all your money at once. There is always some risk to long-term investing, so you want to buy in batches over time to get the best average price. Anyway, it sounds really easy, but obviously when you're about 1 to 2 weeks out from the update actually landing, that is typically where I will sell my investment and exit for a maximum profit. You definitely don't want to be holding the bag on update day, and look at any major update that has come into the game. You will see prices across the board take drastic hits, Anyway, guys, that is all on the economic cycles of RuneScape. I hope this theory video was interesting for you all, and I hope you take some of this knowledge into consideration when making your item investments. Anyway, guys, that is all for this theory-based video on the economic cycles of RuneScape. I've discovered this pattern over the past couple years of trading on RuneScape, as I often play the markets to my satisfaction, and for some major GP gain, of course. If you guys did enjoy this video, definitely leave a like and let me know in the comment section below what items you're currently investing in for 2023. There are so many great opportunities that I think are so undervalued right now, it is crazy. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.